Hey traders, in this week's Forex forecast, we're going to be taking a look at all of the important supply and demand zones created by the banks that you should be watching too in order to help you with your trading this week. Don't forget to let me know in the comments down below what pairs you are watching. Alright, starting off with the US dollar, the banks remain 80% long on the US dollar index, and as you can see, we came down and we reacted off of this important daily area of demand in this overall daily uptrend. I talked in last week's video that we were probably going to be coming down to this daily demand and reacting off of it, and clearly we have. As you can see on the picture on the left, I said that that would happen last week, and now we're reacting off of it. So in my opinion, I do think the dollar will gain strength. If it doesn't, then this will move down and we will have a sideways market. But the thing that I'm waiting for is I'm going to be looking at this 4-hour chart on the DXY. Clearly we have, a nice 4-hour momentum shift to the downside. So this is the chart I'm going to be looking for, and I think you should look at for too. Is this trend line going to be removed, and is this supply going to be removed? If something like this happens and we get that supply removed as well, then in my opinion, it's safe to say that we will be, making new highs on the dollar, breaking past 94.55 up there. If not, then this trend line will hold and will start to break, and we will, eventually break that whole daily area of supply that I have on the dollar. So definitely keep an eye on this 4-hour chart on the dollar to see the direction of the overall US dollar pairs. All right, looking at the EURUSD daily chart, the banks are 48% long and 52% short on the euro right now. So not too much to go off of the call report on right here. But I talked about this daily area of supply here that has now been removed. I said in the last week's Forex forecast that, this daily area of supply is very low quality. I think it could break, but there is supply above. So last week we just simply broke this supply and we contacted this daily supply above that I think is a little bit better. So kind of like the US dollar chart, it's all going to be dependent on this supply zone. Are we going to continue to move down, or are we going to break above here? So the same thing I just talked about on the 4-hour chart of the US dollar, I would be watching this trend line on the 4-hour chart on the euro and see, is this supply going to be removed? Are we going to see higher prices on the euro, or is this whole momentum shift to the upside going to start to shift to the downside again and see more weakness in the euro? Only time will tell. Definitely keep an eye out on that, and that's why it's important to track all of these zones, and I do offer that. Links in the description, as you can see. Hope to see you guys there. All right, on to the Aussie dollar. The banks are still very short on this pair. They're 88% short as price is moving up. It's pretty weird. If we look at the daily chart here, we clearly broke out of this ranging market here that you can see on the Aussie. Now we are breaking up. We have daily demand right here, so I would be watching this daily demand. We could see the Aussie pull back to this daily area of demand and push up. I think that that's very possible, or it could break, but definitely keep an eye out on this daily demand zone at 0.74223. Me personally, what I'll be watching for is this 4-hour chart, because I like to trade the 4-hour, 1-hour, 15-minute time frames. We have a beautiful uptrend right here on the 4-hour chart on the Aussie. We are starting to see some downward pressure right now, though, so we could see this trend line break. So what I'm personally waiting for is a new high to be made above here, and then I will simply start to buy 15-minute pullbacks again so I can continue to move up. But like I said on that daily chart, if we see this trend line be removed and this demand be removed, then in my opinion we are coming to this daily area of demand on Aussie, and where I will be looking for a shift in momentum on a 1-hour chart to ride price up like that. So I'll then go to a 1-hour chart and look for confirmation. If you don't know what confirmation is, check out my tips playlist. I have a confirmation video in there and exactly what I look for. GBPUSD, the British pound. The banks are 51% long and 49% short here. As it looks of this daily chart, we have broken supply. So now we are, we're coming up to this downward trend line where it's a test, right? We're going to wait to see, is this trend line going to break, or are we going to continue to see pressure to the downside? I don't know. In my opinion, this momentum is clearly up. It's definitely more visible on a 4-hour chart, but on the 4-hour time frame, we are pulling back to this 4-hour area of demand. And as you can see with this wick, price could barely touch that demand, and there's so much demand that price pushed up. So I would definitely keep an eye out for this 4-hour demand zone at 1.37337. Definitely watch out for that. I think we could see a reaction from there, kind of like we did from this one here. And these are the zones that I have for the Patreon members. You can get these zones. Link is in the description. It's only 16 cents a day Canadian to get my zones updated daily. So definitely check it out. Links are in the description, and I will be updating throughout the week as well. So looking at this 4-hour chart, we're going to wait to see if price is going to break this trend line or if this demand is going to hold. When the price hits this 4-hour demand, you could be looking for 15-minute confirmation to the upside to catch that move larger on the pound US dollar. All right, on to USDCAD. The past week, the banks added 17,000 short positions as we broke through this daily area of demand right here. So what we could be seeing now is price push back up to this daily supply that was created at 1.245 and then see a move down from there. Or, we could start to see more downward pressure from the price we are at now. But right now, I am not seeing the evidence of that. If you look at this 4-hour chart, we had downward momentum. That was broken by this demand right here, and then price reacted off that demand, and we are seeing a push higher now. So if you got a confirmation trade in this 4-hour demand zone or in this 1-hour demand zone, congratulations, good trade. I'm pretty sure a couple Patreon members did, or YouTube members did, get a 15-minute confirmation trade in that zone that I drew. So good for you guys if you did. So now what I'm going to be waiting for is to see if this trend wants to continue up to that daily supply that is up a little bit higher up here, or is price going to turn around down here and continue to go lower. I'm personally waiting for momentum to drop down to here and then hop on a 15-minute chart and short pullbacks. If not, I'll be waiting for this daily supply to be hit, where I will look for 1-hour confirmation for a larger move down on USDCAD. All right, on to USDCHF. The past week, the banks added 3,400 longs, but I would not be that concerned if you are, bearish this pair. They are 89% long still. As you can see on this daily chart, we broke through daily demand and daily supply has now been created. So we could see a push back up to there, kind of like the USDCAD, and a move lower like that. What I'm personally waiting for right now on this pair is a 15-minute setup on a 15-minute time frame. So I'm going to be going over to my 1-hour chart and switching over to a 15-minute time frame, and I'll be waiting for a new low to be made and then hopefully a 15-minute supply zone, and I'll short a pullback, something like that on the 15-minute time frame. As far as the rest of the charts go, I don't really see too much going on this pair on USD Swiss. There is a demand zone on the 4-hour at 0.914. We could see a reaction from there. So hopefully, if you're trying to short, I wouldn't be shorting anywhere down at 0.914 because I think we could see a reaction like that. But eventually, I think we will start to see pressure to the downside, just kind of based on this chart on the higher time frames. But it is all going to depend on the US dollar index as well. USDJPY. The past week, the banks added 26,000 longs. They are 79% long, this pair. We just had weekly supply taken out. I was talking about how I think USDJPY is going to be moving higher. I'm sure a lot of traders didn't really think that, but I personally saw the signs. So, I think we will start to see even more pressure to the upside. If you look at a daily chart here, we're in very nice daily demand right now. So this is kind of a pullback opportunity. I know that price is very extended and we could see a deeper pullback, but we are in daily demand right now. So I would not really feel comfortable shorting the USD yen. So what you could look for confirmation on this pair is for this downward trend line like this to be removed, and this supply zone right here at 113.72. Something like this happens, I'll be very bullish USD yen, but I'm not that bullish yet. Even though we are in daily demand, I have to start to see evidence that buyers are stepping up and breaking this momentum on the 1-hour chart, and that will basically look like this on the daily chart. We will start to see maybe some sideways action and then a new high formed, and I could see us going up to at least 115.79. So that's what I'm going to be looking for next week on the USD Japanese yen. Looking at one of my favorite markets, gold. The banks are still 73% long on gold As you can see, we reacted off of supply up here and demand down here on the daily time frame. Gold had a very nice rally at the on Friday, but then we spiked back down. And in my opinion, this was a bull trap. But this supply zone, in my opinion, at 1794 is still holding. So me personally, I'm not very interested in trading gold. What I would have to see for gold to really feel comfortable going long is a close above this daily supply, something like that, where we could actually close above it. So it is basically confirmed to me that the institutions are pushing gold prices higher. Another good sign would be for this high to be removed, for this nice 4-hour trend to continue to the upside. And then I might be looking for 15-minute day trades. But as far as gold goes, the safest bet to me, I don't like to trade in this sideways market like this. I like to trade in trends. So the best thing to do is wait for this, a close above this daily supply to really see the evidence that buyers are stepping up on gold. All right, last but not least, crude oil. They are 81% long on this pair. And crude oil, we have a daily uptrend, a weekly uptrend, and a monthly uptrend. So in my opinion, I would not be shorting oil right now. I know a lot of people probably are eager to short oil, and we are about to contact some supply zones at 85, 88 on the daily chart. So we could see small reactions, but in my opinion, I'm going to be trading with this trend. I'm going to be waiting for some of these supply zones to be taken out. And I will be on the 4-hour chart and the 1-hour chart, looking for pullbacks, possibly on a 15-minute time frame to go long. I'm going to be trading with this trend. I know like I said, I know a lot of people probably eager to trade this short because we could see pullbacks. But if you just look at this overall, trend, in my opinion, the best thing to be doing this whole time on a 15-minute chart was, to be buying oil, not shorting it. It doesn't mean if we see some sort of momentum shift by the break of the trend line like that we won't see some downward pressure. But in my opinion, I'm going to be looking for longs only on oil, but I'm going to be very cautious of those daily areas of supply at 85 and 88. So I'm basically going to wait for this to pierce through pretty deep, and then I will feel comfortable going long and riding it to about 88. So very bullish on oil. Be very careful if you are going to be shorting it. All right, everyone. Thanks again for watching this week's Forex forecast. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button as well, if you don't mind. I really appreciate all the support. Let me know in the comments down below what pairs you're looking at this week, and maybe we can get in touch and you can send me a chart and let me know what you're looking at. I always like looking at charts. So with that being said, let's have a great trading week and let's make some money. Cheers.